A large percentage of my clients are business owners, many with children actively involved in the business. So you can imagine that I spend a significant amount of time discussing a range of issues and concerns that keeps these clients up at night. I find that oftentimes business owners know deep down that these nagging issues should be addressed before they suffer unexpected incapacity or inevitable death. Let me take you through a typical business planning conversation I have with a business owning client with 2 children working in the business and 2 other children not involved in the business. In this example, the dad runs the business. The mom has played a supporting role in the early lean years. Their eldest child has worked in upper management for over 20 years, and the other child is content to be in the rank and file. Dad wants everything in order, and he is ready to do it now. He knows exactly what needs to happen. His 2 sons in the business will share the company 50-50, and the other 2 kids will own the commercial real estate and collect the rents. All 4 will share in the home, the bank accounts, the retirement accounts. Sounds simple at first, until a couple of kinks surface in this plan. First, mom insists on everything being equal, despite that the 2 kids involved in the business have their careers and livelihood tied to it. Second, I know the oldest son well. I've worked with him and his father to address business issues such as contract disputes, employment issues, and even discussions with interested buyers of the business. This son knows the ins and outs of the business, and he has developed considerable contacts throughout the industry. He has devoted long hours to the business, he's missed his kids' baseball games, and he simply cannot see the business being owned and run successfully with the constant interference and input from his siblings. The eldest son also considers the commercial real estate part of the business. It is used as collateral for business loans, and the rent also accounts for a considerable amount of Dad's take-home pay from the business. He believes he has earned the same life and income his father now has, and has mentioned to me on several occasions how anxious and upset he is that his parents have no formal succession plan in place. Now you understand why many clients fail to put a plan in place. It is hard work in many cases. But I enjoy working through this process and meeting as often as necessary with my clients to develop and implement an appropriate plan. When working through these issues with clients, I like to put on the drawing board the business, the commercial real estate, and all other assets. First, we need to identify what is available to divide up amongst the children. When there is a lot, then we can divide up value equally, which generally helps relieve some of the stress. On the other hand, if the business and the commercial real estate make up a larger portion of the estate, that is another issue to tackle. Once we know what we have to work with, I like to discuss what I think are the 3 most important factors of owning a business: compensation, ownership, and decision-making. Compensation is a key motivating factor, and in many cases includes the rental income from the commercial property. Those in the family with a heavier share of responsibility should receive more compensation to be fair. It is also important for these family members to know how they can make more money to incentivize their continued commitment. The second factor is ownership of both the business and the real estate. This is important for sharing ongoing non-compensation distributions. In other words, distribution of the net profit and the rental after operating expenses and reserves. In addition, if the business and/or the real estate is sold, net proceeds are divided up in accordance with ownership. Is equal fair? The eldest son in this case doesn't think so, since the business is increasing in value due in large part to his work efforts. The last factor is decision-making, which is also very critical. Day-to-day decisions are one thing, but major decisions about financing, lawsuits, potential acquisition of a competitor, or sale of the business are really another. Day-to-day decisions can be handled by giving appropriate titles and authority to decision makers. In this example, the eldest son should be an officer or a manager, depending on how the corporate structure and titles work. This is not always easy either, especially if Dad continues to be involved, whether in the office or from the golf course. He often does not want to hand over the reins. However, going forward, major decisions such as financing, filing or defending lawsuits, compensating key employees, some of whom may have equity in the business, or selling the company should remain in the hands of capable management. To debate these significant decisions with siblings not actively involved in the business can go from inconvenient and messy to completely catastrophic for both the business and the family. As you can imagine, these can be very intense and emotional discussions. Nevertheless, decisions have to be made to prepare a plan. As an objective counselor, I speak frankly with my clients, and I let them know about situations and results other clients have experienced in the past, and what I believe is likely to happen in their circumstances. My first priority is to protect mom and dad, and I never take my eye off the ball here. Throughout the conversation, I remind them that my job is to ensure that they each stay in the position or circumstance that they need to be in to continue to live the lifestyle they have worked so hard to secure. My second priority is to ensure that the business, the family's golden goose, will continue to succeed when dad is no longer at the helm. In this case, the eldest son must know he is not working without proper rewards, both now and in the future. He should have a written employment agreement which reflects both fair compensation and incentives to continue his efforts. And we can make sure he is a successor to dad's decision-making authority, even if mom survives dad. Finally, depending on what assets mom and dad have to divide among the children, we will decide how the ownership will pass in different scenarios. For example, if dad predeceases mom, and then of course after they both die. Even if for whatever reason, ownership in the business and the real estate must be equal, the eldest son can be the decision maker, both for the day-to-day and the more extraordinary decisions. We can accomplish this by giving him voting control and/or proper titles. This type of business entity, whether a corporation or an LLC, ultimately won't matter as long as we address the pertinent governing documents, such as the corporate bylaws or the LLC operating agreements. Now that we've tailored an appropriate plan that will take care of mom and dad, preserve the family business by ensuring a smooth transition of management to the eldest son, and deliver equal value or shares to the children, everyone can rest easier. I hope you found this case example to be interesting and insightful. More so, I hope it inspires you to take action. Time passes quickly, and the unexpected happens almost daily. Make sure you are prepared for the inevitable. Your family will thank you for it.